Even if you take a high-dose vitamin B complex every morning to fight brain fog, tingling in your hands, and chronic fatigue, your nervous system can still remain in a state of starvation. Neurologists and longevity experts constantly repeat that B vitamins are the fuel for your energy. But that is not the whole truth. The most important thing you need is not just vitamin B12 or folate, but their proper methylation switch. And here is the shocking thing most adults don't know. Even if you swallow expensive vitamins, without this catalyst, they remain passive. They cannot enter the cycle to repair your DNA. Instead of sharpening your memory and protecting your nerves, they simply float in your blood, causing false high-test results while your cells are dying. Most people make the mistake of relying on the wrong forms of these vitamins, thinking they are covered, but ignoring the key component needed for their bioactivation. That is why, in this video, I will tell you about 2 forgotten food sources that literally force vitamin B12 and folate to do their job in over 100 biochemical reactions in your body. I'll start with the most accessible source found in health stores. Then I'll reveal the absolute best one, which is nature's multivitamin. I will also tell you about 3 foods or habits you should never combine with B vitamins if you want to finally defeat memory loss and low energy after age 50. Subscribe right away if you haven't already. Let's begin. Number 1 is nutritional yeast. A serving of nutritional yeast contains an impressive amount of B vitamins, often described as having a cheesy, nutty flavor. It is a favorite among vegans for a reason. But here's what most people don't know. This product is often fortified with synthetic folic acid, which is the cheap artificial version of vitamin B9. However, there is a trap. About 40% of the population has a genetic mutation known as MTHFR, which makes it impossible to process synthetic folic acid. It accumulates in your blood as an unmetabolized toxin, blocking the receptors for real vitamins. A recent study showed that high levels of unmetabolized folic acid can actually mask a B12 deficiency, leading to silent nerve damage. This was a wake-up call for the supplement industry. To get the benefit, you must choose non-fortified nutritional yeast or brands that use methylfolate. Incorporating it is simple. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons over your roasted vegetables or popcorn. It creates a delicious savory coating that feeds your mitochondria. However, if you only rely on yeast, you may still not get the maximum benefit if you don't add the next source, which works in perfect cooperation for maximum brain power. Number 2 is grass-fed beef liver. Liver contains a colossal amount of vitamin B12 in its natural form. Just 100 grams provides over 3,000% of your daily need. That is tens of times more than in muscle meat or eggs. This B12 not only nourishes your nerves, but also works in tandem with choline, a nutrient that acts as a builder for brain neurotransmitters. Choline allows B12 to work like a high-speed internet cable for your signals, improving reaction time and memory recall. What's astounding is that a study published in the Journal of Nutrition tracked cognitive decline in seniors. Those who had higher intakes of natural B12 combined with choline showed significantly better mental clarity and brain volume preservation. Ancestral medicine has considered liver a sacred food for vitality for centuries. To start eating liver, given its strong taste, begin with pâté spread on sourdough toast. Here's the secret. When you combine the folate from greens and B12 from liver with the right doses of stomach acid, you create a powerful methylation trio. Stomach acid is the key that unlocks B12 from food protein. Without strong acid, the vitamin simply passes through you. However, consuming these nutrient-dense foods will be useless for your body if you combine them with the next 3 things. The last one is a medication many of you might be taking right now. In fact, they can actively drain B vitamins from your system. After analyzing pharmacology reports and consulting with doctors, I have identified the 3 most dangerous antagonists. Number 1 is antacids and PPIs. These are the medications for heartburn or acid reflux. You take them to stop the burn, but these pills are secret thieves of your B12. Vitamin B12 requires a very specific component called intrinsic factor to be absorbed, which is only produced in a highly acidic environment. Proton pump inhibitors block acid production, essentially shutting the door on B12 absorption. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association showed that long-term use of these drugs is associated with a 65% increased risk of vitamin B12 deficiency. I'll never forget treating Thomas, a 60-year-old man who developed numbness in his feet. He had been on acid blockers for 5 years. Once we addressed his digestion naturally, his nerve health began to recover. Number 2 is excessive alcohol consumption. Many people enjoy a glass of wine or two every evening to unwind. But alcohol is a solvent that washes B vitamins, specifically folate and thiamine, right out of your body. Alcohol damages the lining of the intestines where absorption happens. Here's the hidden danger. It stops the liver from converting vitamins into their active forms. It is a double blow. You are losing what you have and failing to absorb what you eat. I treated Brenda, who suffered from constant anxiety and fatigue despite a healthy diet. It turned out her evening wine habit was depleting her folate levels faster than she could replenish them. Number 3 is metformin. If you manage blood sugar issues, listen closely. The final antagonist is the most common drug for type 2 diabetes. While it saves lives by controlling sugar, metformin is notorious for blocking the absorption of vitamin B12 in the lower intestine. A long-term study showed that up to 30% of patients on metformin develop a deficiency. The tragedy is that the symptoms of B12 deficiency, like nerve pain, are often mistaken for diabetic neuropathy. I remember treating David, who thought his diabetes was getting worse because his feet hurt. After supplementing with sublingual methylated B12, his pain reduced significantly. Now that you know about these 3 dangerous combinations, I have a question for you. Do you take any of these medications that steal your energy? Write in the comments. If you are serious about restoring your nervous system and memory, I've created a 7-day brain-boosting meal plan. You'll find the link in the description. But there's something even more exciting. Tomorrow, I will reveal a secret about a simple breathing technique that can lower your cortisol levels by half in just 3 minutes. I can only share this information with my subscribers first. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Believe me, this secret will shock you. See you soon.